it's loose and it'll fall right out.
Okay.
Turn it around.
Hello and welcome to the Movie Madhouse. I have not done the intro in a long time. I'm Jason, aka Not Rob.
I'm James.
And this is our new friend.
I'm Adriano. Nice to meet y'all.
Yeah, we're Robless. Rob's under the weather, so he gave me the keys to the ship, and I'm just trying not to crash it. So,
Eat to the kingdom, pal.
Yeah, going for a joyride, if it will. So Adriano is a coworker of mine. He's the pretty boy of Tech Savvy. So, and he's a movie fan, but he's more of a music buff. So he came up with today's topic: top 10 original songs in films.
Yes.
So this was a fun topic. And again, as I was saying just before we went on the air, my list has a lot of well-known songs. A lot of them I didn't realize were made specifically for just these movies.
Right.
So it was kind of eye-opening, and I do expect to see some crossover here, except for James because he tends to be outside the ballpark.
I took into account maybe 2 on the very outside chance, 3 crossover max.
Okay, all right.
Well, I figured the same thing, but
let's see here. Again, I've got the keys to the ship, so I have to figure out how to do some of this stuff here. Where is... I don't know where this is. There. Oh, here we go. So, as we do every week, we are going to start with our guest with your number 10. Adriano, hit it.
Thank you very much, Jason. So my number 10 that I picked is a little bit of an oddball one. It's not one that many people would really go to, but it's one that's kind of always stuck with me. So my number 10 is from Ted 2, Amanda Seyfried performing a song called Mean Old Moon. It's a scene where Ted and Mark Wahlberg and Amanda Seyfried, they're in that huge pot field, and Ted finds this acoustic guitar, and she picks it up, starts a song, and it's a nice, little, lovely folky song that just totally wows them. Then just out of nowhere, a whole bunch of like woodland creatures just come and join, like she's a Disney princess. And when I looked at the song, apparently for the soundtrack, like Amanda Seyfried recorded a version along with another re-recorded version by Norah Jones on the same soundtrack. So yeah, just a nice little lovely folky song that just really stuck with me. And yeah, like I said, it's not one that I think a lot of people would think of, but I love Amanda Seyfried ever since I saw her in Mamma Mia, and I think she's just lovely. And yeah, so that's my number 10.
Very cool. Very cool. I actually forgot about the song, the musical number in that scene.
I remember I remember the wilderness animals coming around. I just forgot about the song part.
Yeah, I saw the song, or I saw the movie like when it first came out years ago, and I remember there was some song, but I thought it was just some like backlogged like song that nobody has ever heard of. But no, it was actually a song that Seth MacFarlane wrote for the movie specifically.
Very cool. Looks like you have a fan, Adriano. Anthony Smith says, "Good to see Adriano on screen."
Thanks, Tony.
All right. So, well, we're going to go out of our usual order. This is so weird. James, what's your number 10?
My number 10 is the title track to the movie. It is the song A Life Less Ordinary by the band Ash. And it was from the movie A Life Less Ordinary, the Danny Boyle movie starring Ewan McGregor and Cameron Diaz.
I've heard the title. I've never seen the film.
Yeah,
it was the one where,
it.
Yeah, Ewan McGregor is a disgruntled employee who works for a company that's at the very top is Ian Holm. And so he gets fired, so he decides to kidnap the boss's daughter, which is Cameron Diaz. And it's kind of a case of Stockholm Syndrome where she ends up falling in love with him and helping him out because he's a very, very inept kidnapper, ransomer. Yeah. It was one I mentioned because it had the on-screen debut of Timothy Olyphantastic.
Really?
Yeah, he's a hitchhiker. A hitchhiker that they switch clothes with to throw pursuers off the scent.
And that's his first role?
I believe that's his on-screen debut because I'm not sure he may say one or two words, but it's not it's a credited role, but not a real, not even a supporting role.
See, I remember that title. Like, I know I've heard of that movie. I've just never seen it. But the first time I remember seeing Timothy Olyphant in anything, I think was The Girl Next Door. So
yeah, well, this is
I don't know where
small.
they fall, though.
You have to. I had to go back and watch it because the very first time I saw it, I don't think I knew who Timothy Olyphant was. I don't think Go or one of the other movies had happened yet. But in the case of
sorry.
No, I was just gonna say in the terms of like Danny Boyle's filmography, I believe this one came right after. This was his follow-up to Life Less Ordinary, and then he did The Beach, and then other stuff.
Okay.
So he did 3 consecutive ones with Ewan McGregor, and then the whole Beach controversy happened.
All right.
I remember seeing Timothy Olyphant because I don't know if this was before he did The Girl Next Door, but he was also in the second Scream movie.
He was Mickey.
Yeah.
I don't even remember.
But I don't know if that. Well, no spoiler alerts, but he was a main.
Yeah, it's kind of cat's out of the bag on that one.
yeah, over 20 years old.
If you haven't seen it by now.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, my mistake. It's not his first credited role. His first credited role is in The First Wives Club. His second credited movie role is Mickey in Scream 2. And then he did a TV movie, and then he played the hiker in A Life Less Ordinary.
Okay.
But they were released in the same year, so it could have happened before Scream 2. I don't know.
Pam is asking, hey guys, where's Rob? Rob is under the weather, Pam. He's currently, I believe, in bed. So he left me in charge. So I'm watching you. Pam likes to stir things up a little bit.
A little bit.
All right. Well, I guess it's my turn here. So my number 10, because I had to include one of these songs in my list. I have a couple other ones in my honorable mentions, but I had to include a song from Get 'Em to the Greek. And my favorite one of the Infant Sorrow songs from Get 'Em to the Greek is Bangers, Beans, and Mash.
Great.
Now,
that
that movie is fantastic. It's so much fun. Yeah. But the songs, the Infant Sorrow songs, outside of the controversial African Child, but Furry Walls, Going Up, and Bangers, Beans, and Mash, they're all great songs. The lyrics are a little weird.
Yeah.
Considering that 2 of the songs, the lyrics were written by Jason Segel, and one of them is written by Judd Apatow. So,
I wish I could remember the songs because the only ones that run through my head are the ones from Forgetting Sarah Marshall. But
oh yeah,
what I always remember from that one is the disembodied head of P. Diddy, where he's like, "Look at me, I'm eating my own head," because he's on.
Yep, classic scene. That's the Jeffrey scene. That's what leads to the Wall song.
No, that wasn't the Jeffrey. That's when they're in the bar and Jonah Hill and Russell Brand drink absinthe.
That's right. Yes, my mistake.
I couldn't remember what they took, if it was acid or something.
No, it was no, they were drinking some old school absinthe.
That's right. Yes, my mistake.
Nice.
So yeah, Get 'Em to the Greek has some great songs though.
Really
they're silly. The lyrics are silly, but the songs work. Like Bangers, Beans, and Mash is a pretty sweet song.
I think there's a line in there. He says like, "I'm so tired from working with my hands all day." Like,
yeah,
and like I'll put you in my will. Like,
yep. It's again, they're questionable lyrics, but the songs work. It just works.
They do.
All right, so now we go to number 9, and hold on one second. Hold on. Oh, I'll pour. I hope you. I guess I'll settle for you. Oh, I still settle for us.
Ah.
Oh, wow. Well, now we know where she stands. All right.
So glad to be a placeholder.
Anyways, Adriano, your number 9, please.
All right. My number 9 is a song from, I suspect there might be some crossover with, and it's from the classic School of Rock, but it's not the song that anyone would even think of. Because, throughout the movie, we hear a lot of great classic rock from Zeppelin and the Ramones and Stevie Nicks. But the song that just really stuck out for me was the band that Jack Black's character Dewey was in prior to being a teacher. And right at the end, they're called No Vacancy, and they played a song called "Heal Me, I'm Heartsick." And it's more mellow, and it just reminded me of something that like a band like Big Wreck or the Verve Pipe might have written, and like it rocks, and like it's just got great melody, and the guy singing Adam Pascal just had a phenomenal voice that kind of reminded me of like Ian Thornley from Big Wreck, or even like Chris Cornell.
Is that the song that they sing at the Battle of the Bands?
Yes, it is.
Yes, I do remember that song, and yeah, it definitely had that that new rock that for me, I got a really like default sound, that kind of sound from them, and yeah, that was a really good song.
Yeah, that's why I kind of went with it, just because it was a little bit of a different feel than everything. Like, I mean, all the songs in that movie were great. Yeah, that one would just kind of stuck out a little bit for me. And that song, there was even just the movie in general. It's just great to watch. Like, it doesn't matter how like it's appropriate enough that you could like watch it with kids, somewhat appropriate. And then like you can watch it like with your 80-year-old granddad, and it's just fun for everybody. And you got you got Jack Black, who's incredible, and all the kids in that movie just so hilarious. And Sarah Silverman, I think actually, Jason, you mentioned she was in that movie, just completely different than what you like would totally expect. She's just that stick in the mud. Like
her early screen stuff, like TV shows and movies, she tends to be more the straight character, which is a far cry from her stand-up. So her stand-up gets weird and offensive, and so yeah, she definitely acts in those movies.
Definitely she does.
Yeah, great pick.
And that's my number 9.
James, your number 9, please.
My number 9 is the song called "After Dark" by Tito and Tarantula, and you'd remember it by it's the snake dance that Salma Hayek does in From Dusk Till Dawn.
I was talking about this one earlier.
That's a great tune. It's got such a cool groove to it.
Oh yeah.
It's a stripper song, and it works.
Never heard her play in the strip club, though. I will say.
This is true.
That's how you summon vampires.
Oh yeah, that's a good thing I haven't heard.
Pam chimed in. One of my faves, School of Rock. I watch that movie often. It's a great movie.
Classic movie.
So, what was that song called again, James? I've never heard
After Dark. After Dark. It's on the soundtrack. Yeah.
That's a soundtrack I think I need to dig up, because there was some cool
because it's even got the clip that Cheech Marin does, the bossy.
Oh yeah.
I used to know that off by heart. At one point I did know it off by heart. It's been too long now, so I'm out of practice.
Cheech had like 3 different roles in that movie, if I'm not mistaken.
He
Border
did.
guard, doorman, and the mob boss at the end.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
So great.
What they look like? What were they, psychos or something?
All right. Here we go. My number 9. Now, see, a lot of my stuff is very mainstream. Again, I was surprised that a lot of these songs were made for these movies, and this number 9 is one of the first ones that I saw that surprised me, and that's from 1977 Saturday Night Fever, "Staying Alive" by the Bee Gees. Come
Really?
on, that song was made for that movie apparently, and that song alone will make sure that disco never dies.
Disco will never die.
It's just awesome. The Bee Gees are just so great, and that song just, you can't help but get moving, and everybody wants to do the Travolta pose, and that song's infectious.
It is. It really is. If I think I'm not mistaken, like a while ago, like a long time ago, Ozzy did a cover of it.
Really?
I think. I could be way off, but I'm fairly certain. Yeah, Ozzy did a cover of that.
I would definitely be curious.
I know. Wyclef Jean, I think, did a remix of it because they always played that. They played that over the trailer for the big hit all the time.
Mm.
I don't know what song Pam's referencing here. Makes you want to take your clothes off. I don't know if she's still referencing the song from Dusk Till Dawn or if she's talking about Staying Alive.
Either way, I guess.
Neither of which you'd hear in an actual strip club.
Probably not.
Granted, though, a song you wouldn't expect to hear in a strip club is one I did hear, and that was Du Hast.
I've heard that before. Really? There, yeah.
All right. I'm trying to picture it. I can't. Moving on.
I've heard Monty Python in the club before. Just throwing that out there.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. If it's sit on my face and tell me that you love me, then that's understandable, kind of.
Yeah, I think so. Years ago.
Back around to Adriano, number 8.
All right, number 8. And some people who are not a fan might give me some hell over it, but it's my list, whatever. Number 8 comes from Chad Kroeger and Josie Scott, Hero from the first Spider-Man movie. I mean,
that almost.
That is a great song. I'll admit I overlooked it. I probably would have tried to squeeze that in somewhere. That is a great song.
It is a great Nickelback even still uses it in their regular set list. And you can, despite how you feel about Nickelback, most of the world, that song was massive, and featuring Josie Scott of Saliva, even featuring the drummer from Our Lady Peace in the music video. That song
and the guitarist and lead singer from Theory of a Dead Man.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
It was a
side note. Yeah. Side note. Hey, have you guys listened to the Nickelback's cover of "Devil Went Down to Georgia"?
I have not checked it out.
It's pretty amazing.
Pretty good.
I've got to look that up. I'm a Nickelback fan. I don't understand the hate. So
same here.
I've got to check that out. Pam did give clarification, but so Dusk Till Dawn, Get Naked, Jason. No. This is not the show for that. You got to pay extra for that. I'm sorry.
Patronic.
All right, so we're over to James, number 8.
My number 8 is the song "Tears in Heaven" by Eric Clapton from the early 90s movie Rush.
Fantastic.
I had no idea that song was made for. Oh my god, that's incredible.
I knew it came out around the time of Rush because they had music video for it back then, but I had to look it up to see that it was actually written because apparently the lyrics were ambiguous, where it could mean this, but it could also apply to the movie. So it took some research.
Interesting. Yeah, that song is amazing. It's right in the field.
Pam wants us to show off our dance moves for some of these. No, again, you got to pay extra. You got to pay extra. Yeah, I remember Rush. I remember that movie. Of course, everybody knows that song. That song was huge.
Yeah.
Now, I thought he originally wrote the song for his son who passed away.
He did.
So,
I
but
can-
but was it you? Was the movie soundtrack the first time it was used? Like that, it's a little fuzzy for me on that. I know it's famous from that movie, and that because it came out around the same time. I'm just not sure. It doesn't really matter, honestly. But it is a really, really sweet, beautiful song.
Here's the quick thing I read. After isolating himself for a period, Clapton began working again, writing music for the film Rush. He dealt with the grief of his son's death by co-writing Tears in Heaven for the soundtrack with Will Jennings. In an interview in '92, Clapton said of the song, "It was in the back of my head, but it didn't really have a reason for being until I was scoring this movie. Then it sort of had a reason to be. And it is a little ambiguous because it could be taken to be about Connor, but it also is meant to be part of the film."
That's awesome. That's awesome that he can. It could have two meanings, multiple meanings.
Mm-hmm.
That's really the sign of a true artist, honestly. Where because perspective changed the art. So that's pretty cool.
Giving you a perspective on it too.
Pam says she's going to get her toonies. You're going to need more than that, lady. And Greg. James Taylor, you better be admitting to your favorite, A Whole New World, and your mad crush on Jasmine.
Crush on Jasmine. No, but if he's paying attention, I did have Ash on the list for A Life Less Ordinary. I didn't hear him chime in about that, unless he just chimed in now.
I got a feeling he might have just jumped in. So while we're waiting to see his response to that statement, let me move to my number 8.
Please let me know if he responds, because I gotta give him credit for suggesting that movie to me.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm watching. So my number 8. This is one of those songs that gets your blood pumping. It makes you're a man when you hear this song. It makes you want to fly fighter jets. Danger Zone by Kenny Loggins, baby. 1986
Nice.
is Top Gun. Come on, as soon as you hear that opening, boom, 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 as soon as you hear that bass riff, your blood starts pumping.
Amazing song. And I'm not even really a fan of like Top Gun the movie. Like I've tried to watch. I know. I've tried to watch it a couple times, and I just can't get through it. But I do love that song.
Well, okay, we'll let that slide. We'll let that slide. You're new here. You're the guest. We're gonna let it go. We do have a response here. Greg says, "That's good. Finally, a good selection. You made me proud once. My boy is growing up."
Well, I try, Greg.
Greg's having a proud daddy moment, apparently. I don't know what your relationship is with Greg, but it's starting to get weird. All right, moving on. Number 7, Adriano.
All right, number 7. This one goes to from Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, Dream Warriors by Dawkins.
That's a cool ass song.
That's a cool ass song. Like
and the music video?
I was just gonna talk like when my buddy had rented the movie on VHS when we were like in grade 8, and he's like, "Yeah, there's a music video ahead of it," and I had no idea who the hell Dawkins were. And we put it on. I was just dumbfounded by the music video. I'm like, "Oh my god, what the hell am I watching?" And you got like George Lynch bursting through the wall, like instead of the Freddie Snake with his guitar solo, and then just at the ending, Freddie wakes up from the dream, like, "Who were those guys? What a nightmare!" and and I keep the song in like my regular rotation. Like it's just a great like George Lynch, amazing guitar player. Don Dawkins, just an amazing singer. This song is it's just so cool, it's so badass, and it's not often that like like from like a horror movie you get like such a cool kick ass just theme song.
And if you watch that 3 or 4 hour long documentary, Never Sleep Again, they interviewed Dawkins in there, and they're saying like because of his age now, and because of, I think he can no longer actually perform that song live just because of how high his voice had to get. and he's not a young man anymore.
He goes really, really high. Like it's insane.
Now, you mentioned that horror movies having badass songs. I don't know if this is on anybody's list. I know it's certainly not on mine because I hadn't thought of it until just now. But that what you said made me think of wasn't there an Alice Cooper song for one of the Friday the 13th movies?
You're right, actually.
But I don't know if it was made specifically for that movie.
It's called
He's Back.
It's called He's Back, the Man Behind the Mask.
Yeah, I remember that song very distinctly.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know which Friday movie it was for. I'd assume like Jason Lives, but it's not a song that I like.
I remember listening to it a lot when it was big, when it came out. I do remember listening to it quite a bit. It hasn't stuck around for me.
Yeah,
but I feel like I'm going to revisit it soon now. And I'm going to look up Dream Warriors because I haven't seen that video in probably 20 years.
So good.
Now, before we get to James's number 7, I'm going to need a little bit more explanation from Greg's statement here. James and I watched Clerks in full cosplay as Super Mario and Luigi. Is that weird? Hashtag Kevin Smith movie time.
Never happened, but that is very vivid imagination.
Sure, never.
I'm not sure what Mario and Luigi have to do with Clerks, but
I don't know either. That's why I wanted the explanation. But you're gonna pull the I don't recall line. So then give us your number 7, please, James.
My number 7 is I don't know if you guys are familiar with any of the Nicholas Sparks movies or care about them at all. But there is one particular that's my favorite of them, and it is the movie The Best of Me. But the song is called "In Love Again" by Colby Kaye. Colby Kaye. Yeah, the song is called "In Love Again."
In Love Again.
And that movie, not familiar. The Best of Me. It's the one with James Marsden, Cyclops from the X-Men movies. James Marsden and Michelle Monaghan and Gerard Major Dad.
Oh, okay.
Gerard McRaney. Gerald McRaney.
Okay. Huh. Yeah, I don't know that one. Greg said denial is not just a river in Egypt. So in other words, he's calling you out.
I don't know what he's talking about, but it is a funny thought.
Sure. Mm-hmm. You just hold on to that. My number 7, still way back in the day here, but there was a re-release of this, like not a re-release, but like a YouTube video redux of this song recently. But this song still holds up as one of the most beautiful songs I think ever written, and that's 1979's The Muppet Movie, Rainbow Connection. Oh, come on! It's a beautiful song, and the message still holds today. Kermit the Frog is a fantastic character. That rendition, like it's just great.
Good choice.
You know, I know the Muppets aren't everybody's cup of tea. I get that. But that song is just beautiful, and it had to be on my list. I just had to include it. All right, enough getting sappy. Moving on. Number 6, Adriano.
All right, number 6. I have chosen New Divide by Linkin Park from Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen.
Almost. Another one that almost made it.
Nice.
I'm laughing because one of our coworkers tried to call him out on it.
Yeah. Because I know that when Linkin Park did What I've Done from the first Transformers, that was actually off their album. This one was actually was done specifically for the movie, and you can even tell in the lyrics, like it just sound like the lyrics that kind of depict like the final battle scene in Egypt, and you know, like it's just a great song, and I'm a huge Linkin Park fan, and like just to not include this, and I feel like it's probably one of like the greatest songs that they've ever done.
That's
my number 6.
I'm a pretty big fan of Linkin Park. I have a lot of their songs, but I tend to go more towards their harder stuff. So like New Divide is a good song. There's no I know I listened to the hell out of that song when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
But I tend to be drawn more to their harder stuff. That's just
exactly. Yeah.
But I didn't realize that was made specifically for that movie. I know it was hyped for it, but I thought that was another one that might have came from an album. So a little surprise there.
Right from the soundtrack.
Nice. All right, James, number 6.
My number 6 is, and you may not be familiar with this. That's okay. This is the song "Clay Pigeons," the Ballad of Lester Long, by the band Collapsis, and it's from the movie Clay Pigeons. It's
You're right. Never heard of it.
That was the film that stars Vince Vaughn as Lester Long playing a serial killer who meets up with Clay, played by Joaquin Phoenix. You got Janine Garofalo as an FBI agent. You have Scott Wilson in there. Yeah. It's a fantastic, dark, black comedy.
That's an interesting lineup. I don't know. Was it like a lower, like independent release type thing?
Borderline limited. It was limited, yeah.
Okay, I've never heard of that one.
It was the debut film from David Dobkin, who went on to work with Vince Vaughn in Wedding Crashers and Fred Claus and stuff.
So is this like early or late 90s?
1998.
98. Okay.
I remember picking up the VHS from HMV downtown Toronto.
That casting really has me curious. Like Vince Vaughn has gone on to just be that deadpan comedy guy for so much, but he did the remake of Psycho, and now
he's a very charming serial killer in this movie. He gets kind of dark though.
Might have to look that one up. I'll add it to my list, which is very long.
Give it a good honest watch. Boom.
Oh,
you won't regret it. You won't regret it.
I didn't explain that to you, Adriano. We generally don't like to throw it at our guests.
Boom.
But we have a tag on this show that if one of us says the line, give it a good honest watch, that's kind of like a dare.
Okay.
It's kind of like a dare. We generally don't throw it at our guests. But
no, that's Rob.
Because I work with you, I may just throw that out. Just saying.
Okay.
You've been warned. Okay. So now I have to seek out Clay Pigeons. All right. Okay. Well, my number 6. I'm going to stay in the more romantical kind of genre right now, and I'm going to let's see. Is this my only one? Yes, this is my only Disney song. And I'm going to go with 1994 Lion King. Can You Feel the Love Tonight?
Nice.
Monster hit from Elton John. And there's no denying that it's a great song.
It's so powerful.
I did kind of toss up between that and Circle of Life, because Circle of Life is just such a great opening anthem and all. And it's a little bit different. But Can You Feel the Love Tonight just has that broader appeal. And that's the one that you hear, like it still gets played on the radio and stuff. So, it's a great song. And well, it's Elton John. You can't go wrong with Elton John. Sorry, Sir Elton John.
Don't forget the Sir.
He earned that title. All right. So we are back to Adriano for number 5.
All right, number 5. Going kind of staying with like a little bit of like the heavier stuff, as is my forte. I have picked from the movie The Expendables, the song Shine Down did called Diamond Eyes.
Oh,
yeah. The song never actually made it into the theatrical release.
Oh yeah.
But it like when like the director's cut came out, it's featured a few times. And the song is just a banger. And I don't use that word often. That song is a banger. Like it just grabs you and just takes you for a friggin' assault. And actually I did read that when they were on tour for their album, Stallone actually approached them to write the song for the movie. And lead singer Brent Smith said, like, when Rambo and Rocky give you a call to do a song, you got to listen. And they wanted he said he wanted something that really displayed, like, not only just like stuff from the South. They wanted like a real like rock song. So yeah, that's a song that I just think is just phenomenal. And I'm a huge Shinedown fan. Brent Smith's got a fantastic voice, and it's just a crazy full-on assault on you. And yeah, that's my number 5.
I don't think I know that song. I've watched that. I watched that movie like probably 100 times by now. But
yeah,
I honestly, the music kind of blows by me because all the great action and the one-liners and all that stuff. But I might have to dig that one up.
I remember because I wanted to find it. I ended up having to search around the internet to find out what that song was from the trailer. Found that, and then I'm watching the director's cut, and the part where the music just normally kicks in, that song starts.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God.
All right. Yeah. All right. I'm definitely gonna have to look that song up. So
yeah, highly recommend
very
it.
Cool.
Damn it.
Very cool. All right, James. Number 5.
Number 5. My number 5 is the Writings on the Wall by Sam Smith, and it's from the James Bond film Spectre.
Oh, yeah.
It is by far my favorite James Bond theme. It's the only one that I've been able to listen to repeatedly without getting sick of it. Like when they played Skyfall by Adele, I got so sick of that song. It was all over the place. But this one was just a legitimately awesome song to me.
Yeah,
and
I just discovered.
Sorry?
I was going to say, like, I just discovered that song because I did like a little bit of a 007 marathon recently. And,
oh, nice.
Yeah, and like the Daniel Craig ones, I still haven't gone into like the older stuff. But yeah, when I heard the Sam Smith song, yeah, and I thought it was a little bit of a different approach towards like the Bond songs, but
well, the funny thing with that one is they originally went to Radiohead, and they rejected two different Radiohead songs for the soundtrack. One, really? I can't remember the name of it, and another one that Radiohead put out on their own it's actually called Spectre. But okay. It was deemed too dark for the movie.
Let's see. Pam, it says, I love the Tina Turner James Bond theme. I can't remember which one she did.
Goldeneye.
Was that
she did? It was called Goldeneye. Yeah.
Okay.
It was a good one. It was the one I liked a lot for several years.
See, when I think of James Bond songs, the only one that really jumps to my head, besides Adele, because it's still fairly fresh,
Madonna's Die Another Day.
No, actually, Duran Duran, A View to a Kill.
I can't even remember that one. I always remember All Time High because I think that's the one from Octopussy, I think.
Pam bringing up Tina Turner. The only Tina Turner song for a film that I can ever think of is We Don't Need Another Hero from Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome.
Oh, yeah.
I totally forgot that Tina Turner had done a James Bond song.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
But yeah, in working up this list and whatnot, I was reminded about that Tina Turner song, and I was going to try and squeeze it in, but it's been too long. But it makes me want to revisit that movie now. That's one of the things I love about all this podcast and these lists. It makes me want to revisit a lot of classics I haven't seen in a while.
Right.
All right. So my number 5, just because. Eminem, Lose Yourself, 8 Mile. Come on.
Oh, nice.
It's a jam. It's a jam. It's hard hitting. And there's truth behind it. You know, that's what I think really takes it to that next level, is the fact that there is elements of truth behind that song.
Right.
Even though the movie is an embellishment of his life story, there's seeds of truth in there, and that song really comes across as being close to the truth.
And the song got an Academy Award or a Grammy.
Yeah.
Win.
I think I might have got both.
It won the Oscar for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. but Eminem wasn't even there at like in attendance, I think.
No.
But another good, that is a good choice, and that's probably going to go down as probably his most memorable song, as far as I'm concerned.
It's definitely up
one
there.
of them. Yeah,
it's definitely up there.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Pam saying, and her own movie soundtrack. So I think she's talking. What's Love Got to Do with it?
Quite possibly. That was the one with
Angela Bassett.
Thank you.
Angela Bassett. She won an Oscar for it, didn't she? Or at least was nominated.
No.
I think she
possibly
was nominated.
Yes.
And Lawrence Fishburne as Ike.
Yeah.
That was a great movie. And whatever I think of that movie, though, I think of the scene when she finally snaps and they beat the crap out of each other in the limo. And Pam likes Eminem too. Eminem is great. Yes. Okay, Pam, we're starting to get on the same page here. I might have to give you a discount. All right, we're at number 4. Adriano.
All right. So number 4, I'm going to go a little dark here. My number 4 goes to Gerard McMahon, Cry Little Sister from The Lost Boys.
Yeah.
And, you were talking about earlier how you wouldn't like a song that you heard in the strip club. First time I heard that song actually was in the strip club.
Really?
Yeah. Like I heard some really like off the wall stuff there. And
that wasn't local, was it?
It was not, no. And like I heard the song, I'm like, this is a weird song. Like, and like a buddy that I was with, I'm like, dude, like, who sings this? He tried telling me it was Phil Collins. I'm like, there's no way this is Phil Collins. So like, this is before the age of smartphones, so I had to wait till I got home and get on my computer and type it up. And so I looked for Lost Boys. And like, I'd never seen this movie. So I watched it and I was like, this movie's amazing. How have I not seen this before? And actually, I revisited it the other night. Just like, because I listen to the song often, and it's like, I need to just rewatch the movie. It's been covered a couple of times. It's for the sequel, like Lost Boys 2. Some like goth rock band called Aiden did a version of it. I wasn't.
And Gerard McMahon actually re-recorded it for, I think, the third Lost Boy film.
Oh,
really?
First?
Yeah, it was credited as G. Tom Mack, I think.
Oh yeah. I think I've seen that one pop up. Yeah, and Manson even did a cover of it a couple of years ago when he was touring with Zombie on the Twins of Evil tour.
Interesting.
Yeah, so like the song is just really cool. Has just such a dark, and the lyrics are a little weird. Love is with your brother. I don't know if he's getting that there, but but yeah, just a really cool song. And
their hair is the movie Lost Boys.
Yeah,
Pam's got an interesting take, but she's not wrong. That's total like hairband hair going on.
Definitely. Kiefer Sutherland and Alex Winter, just that crazy.
Yeah, their hair was finesse.
It really was.
Such a great movie, though. Nice pull. All right, James, number 4.
My number 4 is, this soundtrack was never actually released, but the song was written for and is featured in the movie. It is the song Battle Cry by Imagine Dragons, and it's in Transformers Age of Extinction. And there's actually an orchestral version that plays over certain parts of the movie, and then it begins in the credits.
I don't know that one, but honestly, after the second Transformers movie, those movies really start to get forgettable to me.
They get better. They didn't for me. Okay, I'm not arguing with you today. Number 3 is the best.
I'm not arguing with you today, James. Okay, I've got too much on my plate trying to push these buttons, so I'm not arguing with you. But for me, I have to stop at number 2. Although I did enjoy Bumblebee, I thought Bumblebee was pretty fun. But
Bumblebee's at the bottom. Number 1 is right.
I have to stop after 2, and I have never even attempted to watch Age of Extinction, and I don't want to.
Oh man.
So
Number 3 is the best. Age of Extinction is the second best, and whatever.
All right. Well, my number 4, because I can't help this song, and nobody can. I defy you that when you hear this song, your fist goes up in the air. Don't You Forget About Me by Simple Minds from the Breakfast Club. That one was one of the biggest surprises. I did not know that song was made for that movie. I thought that had been out prior, but no, it was made for that movie. And is there a more iconic moment than that fist going up? Come on.
Right.
You know, and that's one of the reasons why I like, okay, I'm a music fan and all, and I love the Pitch Perfect movies, whether you love or hate them. I know they're cheesy. I love Pitch Perfect. And when she includes it in the end, that to me was just such a romantic gesture to get his attention.
I didn't even consider that song for this list. It didn't even pop in my head. I completely forgot that it was written for that song.
My research is what surprised me here. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
that was a movie.
That movie.
Kudos.
A movie I had only just watched for the first time like last summer, I think.
What?
That was the same reaction Jason gave me.
And then again,
like
he just watched Wolf of Wall Street for the first time like a month ago.
Well, there's less of a time gap in.
True.
Just like when teen movies were never my thing. But then, you know, I just see
Pam's got her fist up. She's singing the song. Don't.
Yeah, then just one day I just decided to check it out because, you know, everybody talks about how just memorable that movie is. I was like, okay, I got to give it a shot. And I'm glad that I did. Like, that movie, it was not what I was expecting. And yeah, it just totally blew my mind. So I'm glad that I got around to watching it.
I have met very few people that don't like that movie. Or right. John, but if they don't like that movie, they generally don't like anything John Hughes. But they are very, very, very rare. Very in the minority. Yeah. There's just something about them.
You just have to be like hipster that you're like, oh, I don't want to watch that movie.
Yeah, kind of thing. I really wish they would could give us that director's cut that supposedly exists of Breakfast Club, but they showed it once at an anniversary screening, but they won't release it to the public. So it's his wishes. That was his wishes. So never say never, but who knows? All right, so we are at number 3, top 3 for Adriano. Number 3.
All right, number 3. I am going to get him to the Greek as well. And the song that I'm including is The Clap.
That's fun, that song.
When they're, just the whole scene when they're at Good Morning America or whatever it was. And they start playing African Child, but Aldous can't remember the words.
Yep.
And then Jonah Hill is like, The Clap, that was my childhood. So they bang it out. And it sounds like something like Clash did, like back in the 80s. And and it's just a great bit. And, the lyrics are disgusting. But
well, it's an innuendo for a sexually transmitted disease. Come on now.
Exactly. And even just like the build up towards it when, Jonah Hill's character is just all like stoned and
running around. Who knows the lyrics? Who knows the lyrics? African Child. God, I love that movie.
So good. My mom loves your shit.
Oh, damn. Okay, James, number 3.
My number 3? My number 3 is the song "Standing in the Rain" by Action Bronson, and I think it's the two guys from Black Keys, Dan. I a last name starts with an A, and Mark Ronson. It's from the film Suicide Squad.
That's a cool song.
And most of the song you don't really hear, but it pops in when Will Smith's character is introduced, and it's extremely catchy for me.
I dove into that soundtrack because I really like that movie a lot. I dove into that soundtrack, and that song was on my repeat for a little while there. So
yeah, there's that one and that one, Heathens, and the one with Imagine Dragons and Wiz Khalifa or some other guys that I Torture You. That I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one.
Sucker for Pain.
Okay.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
That song.
Yeah. That is. I'm gonna have to listen to that soundtrack again now.
That's actually a movie I need to revisit. I haven't seen it for a while.
Well, we got the sequels coming eventually, so might be a refresher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, we got to survive the Snyder cut that's dropping in a few days.
Yes.
And early reviews are very positive.
James, early reviews of Wonder Woman.
This might be a redemption. Early reviews are very, very positive. This might be a redemption. I'm holding off judgment until I see it, but but I don't think it's ever gonna reach your standards, James. Like I know you put it above Avengers, and
you just think if that version's better than Avengers, how much better is this version?
But it's again. Okay,
I'm over that. I'm over that previous discussion. I'm over it.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
I'm not arguing. Moving on. Nope, you're not getting me today.
And Jason, I'm warning you. That song that Robert Shaw and Richard Dreyfuss sing in Jaws doesn't count.
Oh no, that's not in here. No, I didn't. That wasn't made for the movie. It doesn't fit the criteria. But number 3, it's Ghostbusters. What more do I need to say?
Fair enough.
Ray Parker Jr., he crushed the theme song. It's an iconic song. It still plays today. It's
played on Halloween every year for the rest of our lives.
Yep, but it gets played all the time. Like it works
and it's got to come back for this, and it's got to come back for Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Oh, I'm hoping there's some sort of like modernized remix kind of thing. That'd be cool. I haven't heard any rumors of that. So, but I'm hoping that we get like a nice modern. I'd like it to have like a bit of a ballsy edge to it, like a hard rock cover kind of thing.
Actually, do you remember there's a Ghostbusters cartoon called Extreme Ghostbusters?
I know. I remember it vaguely.
No.
They had like a more like a harder version that a Ray Parker Jr. actually recorded for the theme song. It's totally like it's insane. Like it's really cool. Still has kind of like the soulfulness to it, but it's still just got like a lot of distortion and it's really cool.
I might have to sit and find that on YouTube or something.
Yeah,
check that out. But yeah, I'm hoping
great show.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I loved it when it was on TV.
I vaguely remember it. I don't think I watched it hardcore. I watched the real Ghostbusters, the original cartoon. But yeah, I really do hope we get like a nice modern version of that song, though. It needs an update for sure for this new movie.
Takes time.
So, all right. So here we are. We are at number 2. Adriano.
All right, number 2. This I am going to go back to being a little dark again. But so number 2 comes from the amazing from The Crow, Burn by The Cure.
Yes. That was on my first few versions of this list.
The Crow is quite possibly not quite possibly. It is the most talked about movie on this podcast. Nice. We have personal connections to that film.
Next to True Romance.
Yeah.
Well, no, I honestly think we've talked about The Crow way more than True Romance. True Romance does come up a lot, but I think The Crow has still got the number one spot. But
Yeah.
The Crow is such an iconic film, and the soundtrack is pretty amazing. So
It is.
you're not going to lose with any song off of there. But was that the only song?
I almost had Jane. Yeah, that one, and I almost had the other one that was written for it on my list. Jane Siberry's "It Can't Rain All the Time."
Okay.
Oh, nice. No, yeah.
Right.
When like the first time I saw the movie, and like the whole scene where Brandon Lee is just getting himself painted up, and he's looking just all like badass and deadly, and that song just playing in the background. It's like, holy crap. And I think that for the longest time, The Cure didn't even like acknowledge that song. But even though like fans loved it, and like they're like, oh, why don't you play it in concerts? And like one of the members is like, oh yeah, that's that song we did for that comic book movie, right? And yeah, they just never like really talked. Yeah, and
that's insane,
right? And I think it even was kind of like a tongue-in-cheek comment. But but in recent years, I think they've brought it back into their set list, and it's just well deserved. Like that song, and like when you're familiar with the Cure, like that song is like kind of like a little bit of a different step from stuff they normally do. Like I'm not aware of them ever going really that heavy before, but yeah, great song, and the like lyrics lifted from the actual comic book. The imagery, just like the don't look, dream, the crow, black dream. I keep that song in like a regular rotation. I love it.
Very cool.
Yes.
And Pam agrees. Oh yes, The Crow. She's a fan. So.
Oh yeah.
Yep. All right. Nice. All right, James, your number 2.
Yes. My number two is the song "I'll Be Holding On" by Greg Allman, and it's from the 1989 Ridley Scott classic "Black Rain."
Ooh.
The Michael Douglas cop goes over to Japan to pursue a guy he's after.
I don't know if I ever actually watched that movie. I know of it. I remember it when it came out. I don't know if I ever.
I had never seen it until I had been in Chatham for a few years, and I picked up the special edition DVD, and I'd always heard about it. I remember seeing previews for this on TV back in the 80s, and I finally watched the movie, and it's classic 80s Ridley Scott for sure, but it does have a fantastic soundtrack. And this is one song that you hear a little bit early on in the movie, and then it kicks in the final scene and then through the credits.
Okay.
Greg Allman, who also starred in Rush. There's a connection.
It's all a circle. Everything's connected. Now you're starting to sound like a conspiracy theorist.
Who, me?
All right.
What in the last year or so would give me cause for that?
I don't know. All right. Well, my number 2, we're gonna go sappy and romantical again, but it is one of the most, and some might argue overplayed, but it was a monster romantic hit.
Ooh.
And it's from Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, Bryan Adams, Everything I Do for You.
That's excellent. I thought you were going to say Titanic, but that's also an excellent one.
No. Everything I Do comes first. That it was everybody's wedding song for like 5 years.
Monster hit is a very good word for that.
And it still works. It's still just a great, really beautiful, romantic song. Yeah, very heartfelt. I always end up falling into the trap though, and end up playing the extended version that has the long instrumental outro.
Yep.
It adds like 3 minutes of instrumental.
Yeah. Really, yeah. I actually prefer that version. Adds a little bit more.
That's nice if you're just having a romantic dance with your lady and all, or with your.
If you want to add to the Bryan Adams thing, you could have also said Bryan Adams and Rod Stewart for was it All for Love for Three
All
Musketeers?
For Love, Three Musketeers.
Yeah.
Everything I Do is still beats that. So
Yeah,
I
you're
did
right.
kind of have that in contention at one point, but no, Everything I Do just has to take that spot.
I think it'd be amazing if we all had.
Yeah.
I think it'd be amazing if we all had the same number one, but I know it's not going to happen. But I'm very excited.
We're about to find out.
Very excited.
Here we are. Dun, 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 dun. Number one. Adriano.
All right. So, my number one song, this comes from my all-time favorite movie, bar none.
Oh.
It's called Stand Up, Steel Dragon. Movie is called Rockstar.
Oh, nice.
I have not watched that movie in a long time, but I have
same here.
So, like,
that's probably the one movie where I could probably recite every word like front to back, and like it's when you look back on it, it's not like some of the most memorable movie of all time, but I always tell people if you've seen that movie and you know me personally, you know why that's my favorite movie. And it's got cameos, it's got Mark Wahlberg and Jennifer Aniston, and then you've got cameos from Zach Wilde. You got the bassist from Dokken in there. You got Jason Bonham, who is the son of Led Zeppelin's drummer John Bonham. It's got the lead singer from the Verve Pipe. It's got and it is, if I'm not mistaken, based on real events that happened with Judas Priest. Yep, exactly. Yeah, it's a loose retelling of that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Tribute band singer leaves because the original lead singer is gay, and he sounds like the original.
And Tim Ripper Owens. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And that movie also features Timothy Olyphant as the guitar player of Mark Wahlberg's tribute band. That's right. That's right. All fantastic.
Connected.
It's all connected.
Exactly. It's hard to recognize him because he's got a long mullet wig on, but it's him.
Very cool. Wow. I'd like to say I'm going to revisit that movie, but I can't revisit all this stuff. There's only so many hours a day, and I got other stuff to do. Okay, James, what's your number one?
My number one. And the first time I watched this movie, I didn't even know that the song was in it. It wasn't until I think the second time I had watched the movie and the credits are going and I left the room to get a drink and I was coming back and I heard it playing because it doesn't play right away. It is the song Till the Sun Comes Back Around by Chris Cornell. And it is from my favorite Michael Bay film, 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi.
Not familiar at all, but I'm not surprised because it's James. He really has extensive library. So I'm going to assume it's a cool tune. You got Chris Cornell. Okay, yeah, sure.
Chris Cornell's going to be good.
That gives it pedigree. So
yeah.
I've vaguely heard the title of that film. I'm not familiar with it at all, so I don't know too much about it.
What year was that movie?
Based on that movie was 2016.
Okay. Oh wow, not that long ago. Okay.
No.
For some reason, I felt like it was going to be mid to late 2000s, something like that. Huh.
No,
Cool.
It's I think the third most recent Michael Bay film because he did Six Underground, and I think he did Transformers: The Last Night, and this was before Transformers: The Last Night. He did this one. It didn't get a lot of recognition or make a lot of money, but it had James. Who was it? It was John Krasinski was the main guy, Jack Silva, in a complete badass military role. You have Pablo Schreiber, James Badge Dale, and yeah.
Oh, I didn't know Krasinski had done that.
Krasinski and James Badge Dale are basically the two stars of it, and it's based on real events that happened in Libya.
Okay. Interesting.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And I think I'm trying to see if it was one of the last singles released by Cornell. Although no, it was one of the last ones. One of his notable singles. 16, 17, 18. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, my number one.
Well, here's Pam's response to that answer. James, log out. We never heard of it. LOL. Just kidding.
Oh, Pamela.
Oh, you used the full name.
Oh, I've done it.
Oh, damn.
All right. Well, my number one, again, this is another one that surprised me that it was made for this movie. But even though I used similar terms for one of my earlier picks here, there is no song that will make you want to punch somebody more than Eye of the Tiger by Survivor from Rocky 3. I
choice.
defy anybody. Nobody can listen to that song and not want to punch something.
You know what? I think, and I don't know if this was written for the movie, but I think it might be beat by "The Best Around" from Karate Kid.
I considered it. I did consider slipping that in here. I did, but Eye of the Tiger. It's a close race. Like, yeah. But Eye of the Tiger, come on, man.
Or maybe Kumite from Bloodsport.
I don't even remember that song. So, but just the dent right off the bat makes you just want to punch.
Right?
So,
like you're in the boxing ring.
Exactly. Like I'm ready to beat some ass when I listen to that song. So
good number one.
And again, I was surprised that was not pre-released on an album somewhere. So
didn't they actually make reference to the Eye of the Tiger in Rocky 3?
Well, yeah, that's why it was that. Yeah. I'm not thinking of that. I forgot that was the line. Yeah, Apollo training. Rocky,
but it wasn't used before Rocky 3. It wasn't in 1 or 2.
No.
Interesting.
Rocky 1 and 2 just had that Rocky theme. That I don't even. Was there even a training montage in those films? I'm not sure. I don't really remember. It's been a long time since I watched the originals. Yeah. So, but Rocky 3 gave us the montage with the Eye of the Tiger because Apollo said you got to get the Eye of the Tiger. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, I forgot about that. Now, did either of you have any honorable mentions you want to slip in here?
Yes.
I have 2. But go ahead, Adriano. You're the guest.
All right, thank you. Actually, I have 4. The first, and then mostly because I know the songs, but I never watched the movie. The first one coming from the movie called Black Snake Moan. It's Samuel L. Jackson doing a song called Stacko Lee. It's kind of a funny song, and it's typical Samuel L. Jackson.
Is this Staggerly?
Stacko Lee.
You say Stacko-Lee or Staggerly? I was thinking of the Staggerly song from Death Proof, but Tarantino uses old songs, not original songs.
Yeah,
so. Right.
No, this one's called Stacko Lee. Stack.
Okay.
And I think Samuel L. Jackson even learned to play guitar for that song, but I keep that in my regular rotation. And I just never seen the movie. I've also included Lose Yourself because I've actually never seen 8 Mile.
What?
I know.
You're lucky Tara doesn't. You're lucky you don't work with Tara anymore.
I think she knows that actually.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm actually not even because I'm not even like a massive Eminem fan. So I mean, I like some of his stuff, but
all right.
And I also included A View to a Kill by Duran Duran.
Nice.
Yeah,
was that because of Shane? That's because Shane, right? He bullied you into including it.
He did.
Yeah.
I knew. And then the last one I included, and I've seen this movie, but just because I didn't like it for the longest time, it was only recently that I started liking it. Was Shallow, Lady Gaga, and Bradley Cooper.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay,
God.
yeah, I can't agree on that one.
Oh, God.
That song is so. I think that song is way overdone, way overblown,
It was, yeah.
overplayed, but the song is just it's so damn repetitive. Like the song doesn't go
I
anywhere.
agree.
It doesn't go
I
anywhere.
agree. It's just like, it was everywhere, and it's just like everybody needed to record their own version of it, and yeah, it's just everywhere.
There has been like 10 different versions of that film.
That's 10 too many.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not commenting on that part.
But I know, to each his own. To each his own.
Yeah.
I like all the other songs in that movie. I like all the other songs in that movie except that one. Fantastic movie.
Watching it. I have no interest in watching that movie. So,
I only had 2 honorable mentions, and they were one from an animated kids movie called Escape from Planet Earth. It was the song "What Matters Most" by the band Delta Ray.
No, don't know that one.
If you've seen the movie, stay through the credits. It has some 2 great songs in it.
Okay.
And the other one was
I think I'm getting that one mixed up with some other kids alien movies. So
well, there's a lot. There's no shortage of them.
I know.
The other one was the Disney film from a couple years ago, The Nutcracker and the Four Realms, and it's the song "Fall on Me." Again, it plays during the credits. The song "Fall on Me" by Andrea and his son Matteo Bocelli.
Oh, very
and there's
cool.
2 versions of it. There's one where Matteo sings in English, and then his father Andrea sings in Italian, I believe. And then there's the version that's plays during the credits where they both sing in English.
Okay.
Both are fantastic, but you can also see live performances all over YouTube and stuff.
Very cool. I've got 5, and I'm just going to fire through them real quick. 2 of them I already mentioned, Going Up and Furry Walls from Get 'Em to the Greek. I have all 3 of those songs from Get 'Em to Greek on my playlist, and I listen to them regularly. I just love them. I had to include. I have a couple Toy Story songs from of course, You Got a Friend in Me. Such a fun song. But from Toy Story 2, I also have When She Loved Me.
Oh,
which is such a beautiful but heartbreaking song.
I still have trouble remembering anything from that movie.
This is the song that Jessie reminiscing about when her owner stopped loving her, and stopped playing with her, and it is such a beautiful but heart-wrenching song that I had that I wanted to try and include it on the list, but it just couldn't crack the top 10, but it had to be mentioned here. And now my last honorable mention is questionable because we were trying not to include musicals, but I had to put this in here, and it's from Popeye, the old Robin Williams Popeye movie.
Is it a musical?
It is technically a musical. There's a lot of songs in that movie. But the one in particular that I'm including here is "He Needs Me." It's a sweet, cute little song by Olive Oil talking about Popeye and how he needs her, but it's her just making excuses of why she wants to be with him.
Okay.
He needs me. He needs me. And it's catchy. It's like an earworm. It'll stick in your ear. It'll stick with you.
Oh, is that song that plays repeatedly in Punch Drunk Love?
I honestly don't know. I've never seen Punch Drunk Love.
Oh, there's a song like "He Needs Me, He Needs Me" that plays repeatedly in that movie. It's annoying.
He needs me. He needs me. He needs me. He needs me. He needs
me.
Well,
watch Punch Drunk Love and tell me, because in that movie it's annoying.
Well, I can see how that song would get annoying. I can, but that song holds a special place in my heart. That movie holds a special place in my heart. I love all the songs from it. I had to squeeze that in here. So
fair enough.
Well, there we are. We survived. I didn't crash the ship.
Yay!
We're still on air. So hey, I did something right. Thank you very much, Adriano, for joining us.
Thank you, sir.
Awesome. All mine.
We'll definitely have to try and have you on again. You and I have already talked about another topic that we could bring up down the road. So we'll definitely have to look at that. So yeah, that's it for another week at the Movie Madhouse. I'm Jason.
I'm James.
Yeah, throws you off that Rob's not here, right?
I know, right?
So yeah, bye, folks.
Toodles.
I can't find the right button. There we go. I got it.